How does retirement income actually work? Well, let me clear this up for you. For most people in retirement, it doesn't work, and that's exactly the problem. If you want to actually know how your retirement's going to work out one day, here's the answer. The income is the outcome. What? Yeah, the income, your guaranteed, predictable, sustainable, can never stop income is always determines the outcome in retirement. Another way to say it, the outcome is determined by the income. Hey, let me break this down. There's a lot of trending topics right now, and people are really trying to get this idea of the three-legged stool and how they build a good income plan. Stop the nonsense. I'm a Wall Street money manager. I've been doing it a very long time, and I love Wall Street. Wall Street is not where your income comes from. People say, Mark, that's just silliness. I've got dividend paying stocks. They're gonna pay me my income in retirement. They could. 94-year-old company, Walgreens, had a 94-year consecutive history of paying dividends. They announced in 25, yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore. You see, I love dividend paying stocks. I've talked about it many times on our channel before. But it doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Dividends are not guaranteed. I love them in my portfolios. But when it comes to income planning, and this is what people do not have, you go to your big box retailer. Those of you watching right now, if I ask you to show me your written income plan, you're gonna hand me a statement. A statement is a number, it's a value, it's a snapshot in time. In fact, if the markets have been open, you know as well as I do, the statement's not even accurate. Well, Mark, are you silly? Look how much money I have. I can withdraw my income from that. Well, I would say, no, I'm not silly. But are you familiar with something called sequence of returns? Yeah, sequence of returns. If you don't know about that one, watch my videos because I talk about it many, many times. But the basis of it is quite simply this. You decided to retire in 2007, you had all the money you needed and you were ready to go. And unfortunately, you had a few bad years ahead of you didn't know about. And that cost millions of people dollars like you can't even imagine. And many of them had to go back to work because all of a sudden sequence of returns hit. It's the sequence in which the losses happen. And what control did those people have over that in 07? They didn't. So now let's reverse that and say you decide to retire in 2010. Market went on kind of a good roll. I mean, it's had its blips with COVID in 18 and fourth quarter. In 22, the bond market collapsed and other stuff. But for the most part, it's been a pretty darn good run. So your sequence of returns caused your accounts to keep growing and you were just withdrawing from a balance that potentially was increasing, most likely. Well, when it comes to retirement income planning, you can't have sequence of returns completely upset the apple cart. And it's done that to so many people time and time again. When I think of actual income, even real estate, and I love real estate portfolios, I love people that have bought several rental houses or Airbnbs or etc. But again, that's the other stuff. That's not how I would personally build my income plan. Well, Mark, you don't understand. I've got 14 houses that don't pay me tons of money in retirement. I think that's great. But you and I both know there will be times when those houses are not rented. And we don't know what kind of market we might be in when that happens that could cause you not to even be able to sell or liquidate the house without taking a loss. Because things about investments are simply this. They go up and they go down. That's the problem with trying to do income out of portfolios, out of rental properties. I love it for all your extra income. But when I think of proper income planning, it's you telling us, someone, how much money you need to spend every month. And this is not including 2 trips to Europe, but it ought to at least get you down to Myrtle Beach. I mean, you want to be able to cover all your necessities in life, the bills, the house, the gas, the water, new shocks on the car, whatever's going on. Medical expenses, that's a big one that most income plans have never accounted for. So let's just take an easy number. Let's say your number is $7,000. And you know, after taxes, adjusted for inflation, if you had $7,000 show up in your mailbox, you could get through the month without being nervous or scared or having to go to any savings accounts on most every month. I'm not talking about emergencies. That's what emergency funds are for. Okay, well, let's build this plan now. So you need $7,000. All right, well, let's figure out where it's going to come from. First, are you going to get Social Security? Okay, let's start there. Let's say your Social Security for you and your spouse pays you $4,000 a month. Let's use that number. Okay, so we have $4,000 coming in and we need $7,000. Well, how much is our income gap? $3,000. All right, great. Well, hold on, Mark. I actually worked at a job where I was there 6 years and they paid me a pension and it's going to be $500 a month. Awesome. So now we have $4 coming in and we have a $500 pension. So our income gap just went from $3,000 to $2,500. Here's what we have to do. We have to go over to our Wall Street money, your 401 or IRA, and it could be other non-qualified money you've already paid tax on, but I really like spending your IRA dollars first, your 401 dollars. So let's go grab enough money out of Wall Street, keep it as an IRA. If it's a 401, we'll turn it into an IRA. And then let's go to a pension company and let's take those IRA dollars and fund a pension for both you and your spouse. You say, well, Mark, it's an individual retirement account. How am I going to put her on it, my wife? Or if it's the wife's money, how am I going to put my husband on it? It's pretty easy. We can actually make it a joint pension without it becoming a taxable event. And how long would you want this money to come in? So first off, we have to take enough money out to give to them so they'll put in writing a contract that says they will pay you, in this example, $2,500 a month after taxes adjusted for inflation. We figure all that in. And how long would you want that money to come in for? Forever? Yeah, forever, until the last person dies. Okay, so all of a sudden we've got Social Security coming in for $4,000, we've got the little pension you got for $500, we have $2,500 a month coming in, and you have $7,000 a month coming in every month until the last person dies. Now, if you're like me, and I took the first vacation, let's say, with my new pension and all, and let's say something happened, don't let that be like me or you, let's not do that. But what would you want that money to do? You haven't spent it all yet. Well, you've only just put it in. Well, you'd want that money now to pay to your beneficiaries. So they would get it. Still be an IRA, they'd have to pay taxes. But let's not die right now. Let's go ahead and live a long, healthy life. So you live 30 years and you look at your pension account and you see there's no money left. But that's great news, because guess what? Contractually, by law, they would still have to pay you every month that $2,500 after taxes adjusted for inflation that we build in your plan. So now you've got $7,000 a month coming in that allows you to do life. Well, guess what all the rental income we spoke about, the dividend paying stocks, the Wall Street money, guess what all that is for you? It's everything else. And you don't have to worry about sequence of returns or ever running out of money. Here's the news flash. You might be broke on the 28th because you spent all your money, but guess what? On the 1st, you're getting $7,000 again and you get to start it all over again. That's how you build a real living large income plan. Hey, hit the like and subscribe button because we'd like to get you more content just like this.